Hi, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. Welcome back to my Absolutely Fried podcast. My name is Jezabelle, and every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we get absolutely fried together on Kick and Twitch. Hello, hello, happy Friday! If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. If you're more of a listener than a viewer, just know that this podcast is available to you on every streaming platform. So Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Samsung, you name it, it's there. Just search Absolutely Fried, or you can check the description for the links. Also, don't forget to follow the podcast on Instagram at Absolutely Fried Podcast. How's everybody feeling today? Today is a great day. It's Friday. It's Friday, so oh my gosh, so much content has dropped. We've got the YouTube video up, as well as if you're on Patreon, there is a bonus YouTube video available for you also. What else? Oh, we hit our 200 subscribers goal on Wednesday. And I told you guys that today we'd be doing a giveaway. We are going to be doing the giveaway. We're going to do it at the end of the podcast today. So if you guys can't stay till the end, if you're here in the beginning and you wanted to hear the announcement, don't worry. This is going to re-upload on YouTube. So if you miss it, you can go and check the end of the video on YouTube and see if you're the winner. There's not really going to be a way for me to reach out to you guys. So all I can do is make the announcement as to who the winner is, and then they're going to have to reach out to me. So I really hope they see it. I really do hope they see it. But yeah, anyway, that'll be at the end. We're going to do a completely random draw. We're going to use our best pal, ChatGPT. I've already fed him all of the usernames from Kick and Twitch. So he's going to be the final decision maker. I trust him. I think he'll do well. Shout out to, how do I say this? Rebelled Narco for subscribing. Is that how I say it? Thank you so much. Shout out to Killed by Ness for subscribing. Thank you so much. You subscribed for 6 months. That's amazing. Thank you. You're here from the Metro Boomin concert? Are you at a Metro Boomin concert right now? Or was there one? Let's get started on smoking. I'm ready to smoke. I haven't smoked all day. What should we smoke with? Let's start with just a teensy bit of GMO. Okay. That was an interesting one. I'm not going to read out loud what I just read. All right. Already off to a strong start today. Shout out to JJVJR992 for subscribing. Thank you so much. You haven't smoked all day either? Well, it's me and you, man. You wish Chick-fil-A was open late at night on the weekends. I agree. I completely 1,000,000% agree with you. There's a lot of, honestly, I just feel like a lot of fast food restaurants like Chick-fil-A should be open a lot later, personally. Typically, I'm used to, honestly, most of the Chick-fil-A's I've lived around have closed at 9 o'clock. And then there'd be maybe a few or one that's far away that'd be open till 10 p.m. But even then, I just feel like that's really early for a fast food place to be closing. Oh, shout out to Rec247365 for subscribing. Thank you so much. Thank you for the bits as well. Dang, I'm trying to be fried tonight because you know what tonight is for me, guys? Do you know what tonight is for me? I'm watching Long Legs tonight. I have, the second that I realized, I think it was Monday. No. I think it was Sunday. No. It was Monday. I don't know. I think it was Monday that Long Legs got released to being online. And ever since then, I have been thinking about it. And I told myself, I was like, I'm going to do it Friday night. I'm going to get fried out of my mind and I'm going to watch Long Legs. Oh, so I'm so fucking excited. It's probably all I'm going to be thinking about this entire time. I might bring up Long Legs quite a few times. So Excuse me if I do. Shout out to SC Nora for subscribing. Thank you so much. This is crazy. I'm just gonna take that one out. This is crazy. Who's gonna match his freak is crazy. Hyping him up is crazy. I can't make you mod from my dashboard right now. I don't have a way to right now. I'd have to like wait until after I got off stream. Fuck. Anyway, let's get into it. What do we have to talk about today? Well, we have quite a bit to talk about, actually. Where should I start? Should we start with a story time? Should we start with some conversation or a story time? Because I had a memory come back to me last night that, I don't know, was pulled from the deepest depths of my brain. Because it was like my first time getting like drunk. Oh my God. And honestly, just thinking about this story has now opened up like a completely other, like different memory. Start strong with a story time. All right, let's get into a story time. Gotta pull my sleeves up for it. Okay, so boom. Let's just start with, do you guys remember your first time getting drunk? I remember my first time. Dad, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry. But you know what? I'm sure you were a teenager once as well. I was 14 years old. I remember my parents had gone on vacation and they went on like a cruise. After around this time, my parents would just like leave and go on vacations without me and my brother because, we were old enough. So let's see, if I was 14, that would make my brother 18. My brother's 4 years older than me. I remember I would sneak into this. Oh my God, this was my first time tasting liquor too. I don't know. I think I had just like watched some movies and shit. And I was like, oh my God, like they're just pounding down alcohol. I had no idea what alcohol tasted like. Oh my God. And I remember thinking that it was going to taste like maybe like a really tangy soda or something, like, or maybe honestly, what a sparkling water tastes like. I thought that alcohol was going to taste exactly like what a sparkling water is like. You know what I mean? And what did I start out with? I think I started out with vodka. That's what I went for, the clear one. I thought based off of the color, I was like, this one's probably going to be like water. You know what I mean? Like I didn't think that alcohol had a burn or anything like that to it. Nobody had told me anything. The only thing that I knew about alcohol was just like seeing it in movies. And in movies, they be taking shots like it's nothing, So I grab a cup, right? I remember we had this like really large, like, if you've ever been in a hospital, it's like a hospital cup. So it's like a giant, like maybe plastic, like jug. So I grabbed the vodka. And what else did I have? I think it was Diet Coke or Diet Sprite. It was one of those. I think it was Diet Sprite because I remembered like for the rest of my life, I refused to ever drink like Sprite with any alcohol. Never done it. I've never had Sprite with any alcohol after this incident because it was the worst tasting thing ever. I had filled like this plastic, like kind of jug cup up with like half full of vodka. A lot of it. Like this, a lot of vodka. We're talking around, this had to be, let me put an ounce to it. Shit, like 24 ounces. I may have poured 24 out. I may have poured 24 ounces. It was like a giant bottle of vodka. But my parents love vodka, right? That's their preferred liquor of drinking. So they have like bottles of it, right? So I pour, it definitely had to be because it was like, when I say jug, I mean like it's a cup like this, but plastic. And this right here is like 60 ounces, I think. So boom. Yeah, it definitely probably was like 24. So I fill it up halfway. And then I'm like, I smell it. And I'm like, oh, it has a smell to it. It smells like alcohol-y. You know what I mean? Kind of like hand sanitizer kind of situation. So I was like, I don't like the way it smells. Like, let me mix something into it, make my own cocktail here. So I fill the rest of the cup up with Sprite and I mix it together. I get myself a little plastic bendy straw. Bitch, I'm 14 years old. I go back to my room. My brother's not home. He went to go get some ass. He's 18 years old. Parents aren't home. His sister's 14. She can take care of herself. He went to go get some ass. That's what my brother did. All right. So I'm at home by myself. And so I start drinking. And I remember I go to take my first sip and I almost threw up. I immediately spit it back out. I was like, what the fuck? Holy shit. So what did I do? I went back to the kitchen and I poured it out. I poured like some of it out and then I poured more Sprite in until it was tolerable. And then I just started chugging it because that's what I'd seen people do in movies. I thought that you make something like this, like you got to chug it. So I put the bendy straw as like far back as it would go so I wouldn't have to taste anything, like nothing would hit my tongue, and I just started like sipping like really, 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 really fast. I was about to find out what it was like to be drunk for the first time. After drinking, like I drank quite a bit of it, right? And I remember sitting there for like 5 minutes and I was like, I don't really feel anything. I was like, like I feel a little bit sick and like maybe like a tiny bit off, but like the alcohol hadn't hit me yet. It's only been like 10 minutes. And I was like, okay, like what do I do now? So I call my friend. I get on the phone with one of my friends and I don't know what happened. That's really the end of the story, truthfully. I remember we were just talking and then we started talking about our parents and then the rest is blank. The rest is in fact blank. And I woke up the next day and I was like, hello, what happened? And my friend told me like I got really fucked up. I got really drunk and I started slurring my words apparently. And then like after hours of just the most random like nonsense, he said I just passed out like in bed. I went to sleep. That was my very first time getting drunk. Now that's not even the story time that we had. This is just, I wanted to give you what is this called in a book? A preface? Is that what it's called? To the rest of the story. So that's what you get. A preface? Is it preface? Damn, don't ask me about grammar right now. That was my very first time getting drunk. And what would I rate it? Honestly, 10 out of 10. Because I must have liked it because I did it quite a few more times. I was looking forward every time. I obviously couldn't do it like when my parents would be home and stuff. So like I just started really looking forward to my parents being on vacation and shit because that was my little vacation. That was my little vacation time. And I would do the exact same thing, but just with a different soda. So yeah, that was the intro. So boom. The real story now. Oh, by the way, I don't know if anybody asked this at all, but to hide it from my parents, I literally just filled up the vodka bottles with water. That's what I assume. That's what I assume everybody did growing up. Anyway, so what am I about to talk about? So my parents went away, and mind you, we had leveled up. So how old am I at this time? Ooh, I think I was 17 years old. I think I was 17, maybe 18. I don't know. No, 17 years old. I think. My parents went away, right? That means my brother he's 21, right? Yes, because he's 4 years older. So my brother's 21. I convinced my brother to buy me some drinks. Brother. I was like, do you think you could just and he was like, honestly, yeah, I'll go to the store and I'll get you some alcohol. And he was like, I would much rather be the one to buy it and give it to you and know that you're doing it so that and you're doing it at home and I know that nothing's happening. So he came from a place of love. You know what I'm saying? He came from a place of love. You made my cake. Was it good? But yeah, so he asked me, he's like, what do you want? And I was like, well, I don't know, like, what's good? And he was like, are you looking for something that like tastes good? And I was like, yeah. He's like, well, there's like the Mike's Hard like lemonade. Is that what it's called? Mike's Hard Lemonade? Yeah. He was like, those taste good. And I was like, okay. I didn't want to do those because I think I had one like before. And I remember I drank one and it like, I didn't feel anything. So I was like, I don't want that. Like, I'm trying to feel some, you know what I mean? And he was like, okay, well, you can get these little Lime-A-Rita. Them little cans. He's like, those are pretty good. And he's like, I could probably get you like a big box of them for pretty cheap. And I was like, okay, say no more. I want those. I'll get those. So he comes back. He brought me, maybe it was like a 24 pack or something, but it was a lot of them, right? He leaves. He's like, have fun. Right? He leaves. I crack one open, right? I'm drinking it. I chugged the whole thing because I'm like, this tastes like nothing, right? So I chugged that one, throw the can out. I was like, time for the second one, right? So I chugged the next one. And I think I chugged 3. And then I texted some friends and I was like, hey, do you guys want to come over? Right? And it was like my best friends at the time. We were like a little trio. And I was like, do you guys want to come over? I have a hot tub. My parents had leveled up our lives. They got a hot tub, y'all. So I was like, do y'all want to come hang out and get in the hot tub? I was like, I've got alcohol. Who wants to come over? Right? And they were like, fuck yeah. So they came over and they all had their bathing suits. They both had their bathing suits. And we all get in the hot tub. I'm like, who wants a drink? Who wants a drink? They're like, me. And so we all start sipping. At this point, I'm 3 deep. And I remember just like getting really drunk out of nowhere, you know, like if the liquor finally hit me and they're just sipping on theirs, right? And they had no idea that I had chugged 3. And I'm like, I'm sipping on one as well. So I'm on my 4th. I'm sipping on it. And they're like, damn, like, you're fucked up. I was like, yeah, we partied a little bit. And by partied, I mean like we just played music and we just like chilled in the hot tub and drank more. I think I drank 6 of them. That is a lot. I drank fucking 6, pounded them things down. And eventually they were like, okay, like we have to get back home because it was like getting really late and it was like a school night. It was literally a school night, I think. They were like, it's getting kind of late, so we got to go back home. And I was like, okay. So they go back home. I remember I started texting this guy because there was this guy that I had this little crush on. And he was older than me. I think he was 18 years old. I believe he was 18. And he lived like an hour away from me. But I had like met him on Instagram. And I was just like texting him. And I told him like, oh yeah, like I was like partying with my friends and stuff, right? And he was like, dang. And I don't know, I just started flirting with him. And then and like we got on the topic of like him coming over. I think I had like brought it up, like trying to like get him to come over. And he was like, I'll drive to you for real. And I was like, you'll drive an hour? I was like, shit, my parents aren't home. I was like, nobody's home. Like, okay, come on. So he actually drove an hour to come get me. At this point, like, I am severely intoxicated. So, like, I am very much drunk, and it's, like, to the point where I'm, like, the rest of my alcohol isn't digesting. I'm like, I need to throw this up. And so I've never experienced, okay, so I've gotten drunk before, but I've never experienced drinking to the point of throwing up. This is going to be my first fucking time. So I remember him pulling up and I go to like get in his car and I don't remember what he drove. I just remember like thinking like I was like, this is a nice car. I was like, this is good. This is good for me. Good picking, Jezabelle. And he's like, where do you want to go? Like, what do you want to do? I was like, oh, like I lived in one of those small towns where there was nothing to do. So I was like, let's just hit the Walmart parking lot, right? Let's just go chill. Let's go chill, right? We're driving and he's like, how much did you drink? And I was like, oh, I drank a lot. And he was like, is it like your first time getting drunk? I was like, yeah, no, like I'm pretty fucked up right now. And he was like, okay, well, like you gotta drink some water and you should probably eat some food. And I was like, okay, bet. I was like, bet. Like, let's go get some food. Let's get some water. He's like, I got you. Say no more. So he takes me to like a Waffle House, right? No. He took me to a Wendy's first. Oh my God. I forgot this part of the story. Holy shit. He goes to take me to a Wendy's and it said, mind you, the Wendy's said it was open online. The Wendy's said it was open. We pull into the drive-thru and it looks like it's closed. And like, we get up to like the drive-thru like thing and like you hear like the mic on the other side, like click and like whispering as if like they're there, but like they're pretending that they're not there. Right. And so he's like, hello. and like nobody responds. And so like my drunk ass like leaned out the window and I start like yelling, hello, is anyone there? Hello? And I'm like yelling at this fucking just like giant sign. And after I like yelled into the I yelled at, I guess, at the service worker, because there was somebody back there, and they responded. They went, we're closed. And my friend was like, but it says you're open online. And the guy came back on and said, we're closed. So we're like, okay. And we drove off. I think they were just smoking back there. Honestly, truly. I think that they were just chilling. They just were not going to serve people. They were just chilling. So he takes me to Waffle House now. He gets me like a bunch of hash browns. He gets me like a large like black coffee, and he gets me like a large water, right? And he's like, you got to like eat and drink this. At this point, I'm like, I don't feel good. I was like, I think I'm going to throw up. Like, I'm looking at this guy and I'm thinking that. I'm like, I said to him, I'm like, I think I'm going to throw up. And he's like, okay, you think you're going to throw up? He's like, it's okay. It's okay if you're going to throw up. Yeah, this is where the story takes a turn. I ain't never told nobody this story, y'all. And you're about to find out why. There's a reason why my brain buried this. He's like, just open the window, or like you can open the door. He's like, just open it up. So I open up the window, right? And I'm like, here it comes. And I go to throw up, right? Windows down. I projectile vomited out of this car, right? And he's nice. He's patting my back. Oh my God, I don't even want to say this part of the story. I don't even want to say this part. Sometimes, you know, if there's enough force, I guess, if a lot, you know, like a lot of, like your body tightens up and maybe you push, you fart. And so, bitch, he's like leaned over me, right? Like right by my ass too. I'm leaned out the window. He's like patting on my back. He's like, it's okay. And I like go to throw up. And one of the times that I went to throw up, it came out. And you're probably like, oh, well, like, it probably wasn't that bad. This wasn't like a little cute, like, oop, like a little, wasn't anything like that. This was like from deep down under. That thing came out of me. We both ignored it. We acted like it didn't even happen. Like we seriously didn't talk about it. Didn't laugh about it. Just literally acted as if it didn't happen. And I remember that happening and like feeling his hand pull away from my back for a second. And then before he could make any other kind of reaction, I just went and sat back down in the car. Like I put my body back through the window and I sat down in the car. And then he moved back over and he sat down. He was like, you feel okay? You all right? And I was like, yeah, no. I think I'm good now. Yeah, no, I just maybe need to drink some water. And I pick up the water and I start drinking the water and I'm just, right? Few minutes later, we're sitting in the chair and I'm like, damn, like I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm just ready to go home. It's like my chances with this guy are fucked. I just lost my chance at like an 18-year-old. I think I'm like 17 years old at the time. This is like right before I turned 18 and he's like 18 and I'm like, I was like, damn, like I lost my chance. He had a nice car. I was like, fuck. He lived an hour away. He lived in like a cool area. I was like, damn. Few minutes later, it was not that long after I projectile vomited, right? Guy puts his arm around me and then went in for a kiss. I kissed back and then we stopped. And then he was like, okay, want me to take you home? And I was like, yeah, please, that'd be good. I think about it. I know he tasted vomit. I know he tasted vomit because I tasted vomit. I had just thrown up. Mind you, honestly, there had to have been like little pieces in my teeth probably. Like I just threw up. I could still taste it. And then this is the turning moment where it went from me being worried about having an impression on him to I'm never going to talk to this guy again. And I never did. I never spoke to that man again because ew. I would take that to my grave for sure. Ew. Like that's crazy, right? He was dedicated. Like, no, that's like crazy. That's like crazy. Like low-key, I was like a little bit happy about it because like in my head, I was like, oh my God, like I have like such a big crush on this guy, right? I was like, ew. Gross. Yeah, but I for sure never spoke to that man again. Never spoke to him again. I wonder where he's at. I remember his first name. I don't remember his last name, so I have no way to look him up. No way to find out where he is, where he's been. Oh my God. There's so many people like that I have like crazy stories with or just like, I don't know. Yeah, no, crazy stories or interactions with. And it's like, I want to know what they turned into, like, how's their life going? Where are they at? What's different? What do they look like? And I have no way to find these people. A lot of them, I can't remember their names. And I don't know if it's because, one, the memory is not that important. Two, my memory is just fucked. Like, I'm cooked. My brain fried. Done for, right? And I just can't remember shit. That could be one of them. Yeah, no, that's got to be the one because, like, I'm so cooked that, like, I don't even remember what the third option was. So, let's go with the second one. Yeah, no, I'm just cooked. Oh my God, it makes me think about, imagine he's watching. Oh my God, y'all, like I had like literally the biggest crush on him. He was like he did boxing too. So he was built. This was a good looking guy. I wonder where he's at in life. Shout out to you Blabbermouth for gifting out a sub. Thank you so much. I always wondered, like, no, there's a lot of people that I think about and I wonder if they do watch me, are watching me, have watched me, even if it's just like once. Like, I don't know. That's so crazy to think about. My online footprint is insane. Oh yeah, no, for sure. Dude, it's ridiculous. No, I've made countless jokes on the internet I cannot take back. I've even been on that show. What's it called? What is the name of that show? Is it Ridiculousness? I've been on that show multiple times for like I've made like some wild jokes on the internet. And they like ripped me to shreds on those episodes. I'm pretty sure I've never seen them, but I don't doubt that they ripped me to shreds. Yeah, no, there's some things that like my digital footprint is like actually crazy. I've just made like absolutely insane jokes because I used to have the most like wild sense of humor where, I don't know, it was a different time. It was quarantine. Rules didn't matter. We didn't know if we were going to die or not. Right. And so I would just like, if I came up with a joke, no matter how disgusting it was, I was like, I'm going to put this online. No, like what episode? I have no idea what episode it is. I remember back in like, I've uploaded so much on TikTok. I used to upload like 20 times a day sometimes. Like I'd upload so many videos. And it would all just be like random jokes or just like random things that I thought were funny. Or like I used to make skits. I used to make legitimate fucking skits too. I loved Vine when I was growing up. I never posted on it, but I made so many videos on there and just like saved them for myself. Oh my God, I loved Vine. And so pretty much like TikTok became my version of Vine. I literally made like skits. I was thinking about one of the skits that I did earlier today and I was going to try to see if I could find it. so that I could like post it on my story for you guys because it was funny. I don't want to explain the joke to you. You just have to watch the video. I'm going to find it. I vaguely remember making one video where I had to put like spaghetti and meatballs in my pockets, and I ruined like my favorite pair of jeans for it. I was very dedicated to it. The shower one. Yep. That's another one. Yeah, actual like skits. Like I would write full blown like what's it called? Scripts out. And I would spend time every day like thinking of these skits and like coming up with them. It was so fun to me because like this was like peak. This was literally, I remember it was in my very first apartment. This was peak pandemic where everything was shut down. And I was on unemployment. Like everybody was literally just at home, and so I had nothing to do. And I remember I used to go like walking. This is when I had like a huge like weight loss because like I used to be like bigger, and I started implementing like walking every day because that's all you could do. Like you couldn't go to gyms. All the gyms were closed. And so I would go outside and I'd go for a walk. And I remember like walking like fucking 10 miles. And so the only things that were entertaining to me were trying to come up with skits and walking. And so I started combining the two also. Like I was literally all day long trying to come up with like funny ideas and skits and stuff. And I would like push myself down. That's crazy. I used to like push myself to like go outside and go just like walk around in like public areas to try to like see interactions with people. And like, you know, it was like coming up with like relatable type of content basically. Like I was like just people watching and like watching scenarios play out, or just going about my day and seeing what scenarios like happened to me. And I would just like pinpoint and remember like things that would happen to me throughout the day that were like annoying, or things like that went good or things that went bad, or just like habits that like I never really thought about before. And then I would make a video out of that. I was like very dedicated to it. This was like, it was so fun to me. Like I loved making videos so much. My blonde era. Holy shit. Buddy, did y'all know that? I used to be blonde. I think I posted about that on like this spam page that I have. And I dyed my hair back in 2019. Oh my God, I can't believe you remember the blonde era. The blonde era. That's fucking crazy. Those are like my first videos. That's insane. Those are my first videos. Yeah, no, I used to have blonde hair. And if like you find a way, like if you just one day get really bored out of your mind and you want to scroll, like, and you're willing to scroll for like a while, you can get to the very end of my page and see when I was blonde. And it was like back in 2019. And then I dyed my hair in 2020. When did I dye my hair in 2020? I think it was February, maybe February 2020, I think, is when I dyed my hair black. And once I dyed my hair black, you could see how fucking fried my hair was. Oh my God, I was practically bald. I'm not even, my hair was so thin. Like when you see my hair, when I tell you it's completely fucking different, it's crazy. I look bald. There's like no hair. It's like 3 strands on my head, bro. It's so thin. And then I have no curl. It looks wavy. It looked fucking wavy. Buddy, we came a long way. That's where I started my journey. Oh, and then I dyed my hair fucking red. I dyed my hair red in... Damn, was it also in 2020? I did this all with box dye too, mind you. All with box dye. I box dyed my hair black. And then after that, I guess after a few months, I got it kind of like... What's the word? Like washed out of my hair basically. Like you couldn't see the blonde, but it was like my hair was like all different weird shades of colors because I definitely had no idea what I was doing when I dyed my hair. So it was like black and like lighter in some areas and brown in some areas, and then my roots were growing out, and I thought my hair was black because I was blonde for so long that I didn't realize until my roots started growing in that my hair is actually like dark brown, not black. There's a difference between the two, if you can see that. And my hair just looks so fucked up. And I remember like I wanted to be in my red era. I was like, oh my God, I want to dye my hair red. Every girl has it. I feel like every girl has to dye their hair red once. You have to. I feel like red is I think that is known as like the universal color. Like red can look good on anybody. You just got to find like the right tone of it or the right shade. but red is like a color that like anybody can wear. And I feel like every girl has to dye their hair red once. So take this as your sign if you haven't done it yet to just go for it. Because it was so fun when I did it. I fucking did it with a box dye and it came out so fucking cute, in all honesty. Like, it was very nice, actually. It washed out very quickly, but it was very nice. And then after that, I just like decided to go on this hair journey, and I started like slowly like trimming my hair every so often. And then after a while, like the color completely washed out. Like my roots had grown quite long. Like my roots were now pretty much my hair, and just the ends of them were like blonde from like when I bleached my hair. And then just randomly, I think back in 2022, I decided to, at the beginning of 2022, I did like a big chop. I decided to go to like a hair salon, and I was like, chop off all of the dead hair and any blonde, all of it. I want all of it gone. And they were like, all of it? Because like it was a large portion of my hair. I think my hair was like halfway down my back at this point. And like all the damaged and like blonde hair was like up to my chin. It was up to my fucking chin. So they chopped it all off. And this is when I did like a big chop. And then now we're here. We grew it out. Holy shit, buddy. It was a fucking roller coaster. This is the story of your hair. My hair is in its prime. And you know what's so crazy is I wanted to get here so bad. I wanted to get here so fucking bad. I remember there was this like video that I wish I had it. Oh my God. I may have it. I have my, what's it called? I have like a hard drive or something that has all of like my memories and everything that was like on my laptop from high school. And I got that laptop when I was 14, and I had it until my very first day of college. It literally stopped working my very first day of college. Right in class, first class I sat down, I went to plug it in and turn it on. Did not turn on. That bitch was dead. It was the best laptop I ever fucking had. And I was able to get like all the information off of it. And I used to upload. My dad had taught me that. He was like, after taking so many pictures on like your phone or something, he's like, upload them to your computer so that you can just delete them and free up space. So all of like those photos are on that hard drive. I still have it. I keep it in like this shoebox filled with like just like memories throughout my life. Like I collect like all the cards that get given to me. Very random. I love cards. I am a big fan of fucking cards. I think cards are a fantastic gift. If you get, I swear to God, like, do you guys like cards? Do you guys like cards? Because like, I love getting gifts. Gifts are amazing. Who doesn't like gifts? You know what I mean? But when there's a card that's given with the gift, so much better. So much better. Honestly, if you just gave me only a card, that'd be fine. I love cards, especially when they're like, just stupid ones where like if you find a funny one, that's cool, or like if you just take one that makes absolutely no sense. Like I remember like one year for my birthday, my friend gifted me this Elmo card, and it was like about a kid turning 4 years old, and I don't know, I just thought it was the funniest, it was the most hysterical thing ever to me, but I loved it so much because I don't know, I feel like when you pick out a card, a lot of thought goes into it. I feel like a lot of thought actually goes into picking out like a card, because is the person going to get the joke? Are they going to find this funny? Like you have to think about a lot of like things that other person enjoys. It's like really prioritizing them when it comes to like the gift. If that makes sense. Maybe I'm thinking too deeply into it, but they have to understand the card and they have to like it. It's their birthday. So I don't know. I feel like a lot more thought goes into it. And I just think it's really cool. And then when people write their little handwritten notes, that's the best, bud. That's the best. Because not to be deep, it's hard to talk. Saying words is hard when they really mean something. That shit is pretty difficult. Like think about the friends that you have and how much you fucking love them. Whether it be you got one person, you got a group of people, whether you have a sibling and you really love them, but how often do you genuinely look at that person and tell them how you feel? How often do you tell them that you truly love them and you are so grateful to have them in your life, or you just like talk about your favorite memories that they've given you or how they've changed your life? Or does this person even know that they have this massive impact on you that if you were to like pass away or something, like they're going to be one of the people that you're so grateful for all the memories you made. Like, how often do you just fucking turn around and say that to somebody just randomly? You know? So like a card, when you write out a cute little note, you're just like, oh, I just want you to know, like, I love you and I'm so excited for this next year of life with you, or like so glad that like I've gotten to know you this many years. Like, it's so fucking cute, man. That is so fucking cute. So I have saved, quite literally, I've felt this way my whole life too. My whole fucking life. Maybe one day, like on the next stream or something, I'll bring the box out and show you guys. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's so intimate. Stop. That's so intimate. They're cards from anyone who would send me a card. So my grandparents, my dad, my mom. There's this one card that I have that is my absolute favorite card. Oh my god. My father fucking loves me. My father, he definitely wanted a daughter, right? Like, I am his child for sure. And every year on my birthday, he fucking cried. Every fucking year, he always fucking cried. And he would make sure to tell me how much he loves me. And he would give me cards. And I don't remember what age it was. I think it was 10 years old. He gifted me this card, and it was my favorite card that I've ever received. It's a card that's the shape of a castle, like it's a cutout. Those cards are so cool when it's not like just a regular like rectangle card. It's like the shape of something. What was the shape of like a castle, and it had a princess on it, and it was like completely glitter. Like it's like colorful glitter on it, right? And it's like all pink and shit and so like shiny, and like it's about a girl like, you know, getting older, 10 years old. Like, it's such a huge age. And my father had filled out the entire card, like telling me like how much he loved me. Oh my god. Maybe that's why I fucking love cards so much, because like they were given to me growing up, and like that's a lot. That's a lot, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that, you know, like what's the whole thing that like when people talk about like having daddy issues or mommy issues or something, like they didn't feel like they were loved enough, or their parents didn't tell them that they loved them enough, or tell them that they were proud of them or something. So to have that reassurance, I guess, growing up as a child and, you know, like becoming an adult, having that reassurance written down, like he loves me, and here I have something to prove it. He has told me, he has said it to me, and truly meant it. That must have impacted me so much. W Pops for real. Yeah. So get somebody a fucking card, man. Cards have so much a hidden meaning in them. Shout out to V-Lone Slappin' for subscribing. Thank you so much. You're crying right now. Yeah, no, my father definitely loves me though. Oh my gosh. If I don't call him for like a few days, he this is so funny. Like, I don't know if he knows that I know this. He has to. If I don't call him for like a few days, he'll get like upset, right? He wants me to like call him all the time and talk to him all the time. He's like, he tells me, he's like, even if you're just on the toilet, like just call me. He's like, it takes 2 seconds to just call me and say hello. Just say hello to me. And I just get so busy. But if I go a few days without calling him, he won't tell me that he's upset, right? He won't tell me. Instead, he'll tell my mom. He'll be like, oh, Jezabelle hasn't called me. Like, what the heck? Like, my own daughter. Like, why won't she call me? Does she love me still? That like real shit. Like, he'd be like saying this stuff to my mom, and my mom will call me and she'll be like, hey, Jezabelle. And I'm like, hey, mom, what's up? She's like, nothing, just calling you. Because my mom knows if she calls me, like, I'm gonna pick up. You know what I mean? Like, if I see my parents like name pop up, I'm gonna pick up the phone. It's just that if they don't call me, sometimes out of sight, out of mind, I just get so busy, I don't really think to call. And so like my mom calls me, and like I always pick up the phone, and she's like, just wanted to call you, let you know, like your father's complaining, you haven't called him in a few days. And she'll tell me everything he said, and I'll be like, oh my god, like why is he being so emotional? Why doesn't he just call me? Or why doesn't he just text me and say this to me? And she's like, well, he doesn't want you to know that he's like that, you know. That's like so funny to think about, that my father's like huffing and puffing, and he's like, but I don't want her to know that I feel this way, you know, like she needs to call me. My god. I think of that story now. Yeah, he misses me. Well, this was my first time ever like seriously moving. My parents lived like an hour away from me when I lived back in Atlanta, and my father went to Atlanta often, and so anytime he'd be passing through the city, he would just like stop by my apartment, say hello, or like meet up with me to go and get some food. So this is like our first time being like seriously like apart. And I'll tell you, sometimes we would go like a couple weeks without like talking to each other when I lived in Atlanta, and like nobody thought anything of it. Like we'd reconnect and be like, okay, yeah, great, come and see us, like I'd go and see them like once or twice a month. But like now that I'm in California, oh, he wants me to keep in touch all the time. We talk about like we've said like, like we feel the distance between each other. It's crazy. That's a real thing. It's so wild. Yeah, I definitely do have to go back. I've been thinking about it. I've been really wanting to go back. I do really miss my family. Yeah, he doesn't want to seem soft. That's what it's like. That's crazy. But yeah, I thought of it because he texted me earlier today, and he just sent me like the emoji that has like, it's like smiling and it has like the hearts on it. He sent me that today, so it's probably just him letting me know he's thinking about me. I should surprise him. Oh my god, he'd love that. Being a surprise would be great, but I can't really surprise them. Well, I could do it if I planned it with my mom. My dad likes to, now that he's like old and all the kids have moved out of the house and it's just him and my mom now, they like go on vacation like randomly. My mom, I keep thinking about like, y'all, what age is retirement age? My mom, she's gonna turn 50 soon, and she's already started working like less at her job, like taking on just like less hours. 60. Okay. Yeah, my mom's a nurse, and she's probably gonna be she started taking on less hours so that her and my father could like go on vacation more. 65. Depends. That's crazy to think about. When I find out my parents retired, I feel like, oh my god, that's gonna be fucking crazy. That's gonna be insane. Because like that's just gonna make me feel old. Dude, I'm not even gonna bring up age right now. I'm not gonna bring that up because I feel like that's an easy way to like spiral out when you're high. Thinking about like how, I'll move on. I'm not gonna say it because I think about it all the time when I'm high. Holy shit. I think about it all the time. Okay, I'll just say this one thing and then we'll move on, right? No. I won't say it. Age is just crazy, bro. Okay, all I'm gonna say is like, you just can't go back. And it's crazy to think about because, bro, do you know what the one thing my fucking mom said to me when I was growing up? She used to say to me all the time, don't rush your life. She's like, trust me, you want to be a kid, live it up. She's like, because there's no going back. And she's like, I would talk to her and I'd be like, I can't wait till I'm like 14. I can't wait till I'm 16. I can't wait till I'm 18. Like I would say stuff like that. And she would be like, trust me, like, she's like, you want to stay as like young as you can for as long as you can. She said, don't rush that shit. Because she said, once you're older, she said, one day you're going to reach an age. And she said, instead of thinking, oh, I can't wait to be like 18, I can't wait to be 21, you're going to be saying, I wish that I could be this age again. And I remember this was like the craziest conversation, and it's high-key like a core memory for me, because I remember when we had this conversation, we were standing in my mom's bathroom, and I was just looking in the mirror, and she was next to me and she was looking at me through the mirror. And I remember having that conversation with her. And then afterwards it made me just like ask her, I was like, do you like feel your age? And she like looked in the mirror and she was like, honestly, no. I was like, well, what age do you feel like? She's like, I still feel like I'm 12 years old. And I was like, oh my God. She was like, I feel like I'm 12 years old. And she like looked down at her hands and she was like, and like, I don't know, I feel like I just blinked one day and I'm like, whose hands are these? Like I just woke up and she like said she was like 30 something. I was like, oh. And this conversation was when I was like really young too. Like I was really young. So that was like a crazy conversation to like have when you're a child, because like I didn't understand any of it. Like to me when she said that, I was like you don't feel like you're 12 years old. But then as I get older, I'm like, holy shit, maybe my mom really does feel like she's like 12 years old, because I look in the mirror and honestly, I feel like I just turned like 19 one day. And then I just never aged past that. Like, I just still feel like I'm 19 years old. I don't know. I talk about that age a lot. That's like my favorite age. So maybe my brain is like, okay, we're done. We're going to stay here. This is the best. Yeah, emotional story for real. Yeah, no, crazy. In 5 years, we're sometimes a whole other person, kind of like a doppelganger of the former selves walking around looking exactly the same but being completely different people. That's a crazy thought. You gotta be high. Man, age in life is a crazy thing. You know, actually, speaking of, I had a friend that had a massive panic attack yesterday, I think it was. And you know what? This kind of just ties back into like into our conversation earlier about like, you know, like reminding your friends like how much you love them and like being there for them, like prioritizing them sometimes. Because this is a situation like that. So they texted me, and it was like 8 a.m. when they texted me, and they were like, I just had like a panic attack. And I was like, oh my God. Like, you know, when I finally woke up, which was like way later than that, right? I called them. I'm like, yep, what the heck? What happened? You had a panic attack? What's going on? They were like, yeah, like, I don't think I've ever had a panic attack before. Like, this was their first time ever having one. And they were like, I was like, well, what are you having a panic attack for? Because from my perspective, let me tell you, this person is doing fantastic. They can afford to live where it is that they're living. They have a fantastic job. So many people are out of a job right now. So many people are out of a job. And not only do they have a fantastic job, but it pays so well. They just got a raise. They just got not only a raise, but they got promoted, right? Like, they're doing fantastic. They have the best healthcare. Like, literally, when I say like there's like boxes of stuff that people just like wish that they have, that's like a dream, like they hit every single box. They are secure. They're where they want to be. They have their hobbies on the side. They eat what they want. They're living a great life. And I'm like, what are you having a panic attack for? Like, what is going on? They're like, I'm stressed about life. And I was like, what? And they told me, they were like, I don't know what was happening. Like, I was just sitting in my chair. It was 6 a.m. And they were like, I was just sitting in my chair, and I started thinking about like my job. And then I was like, I hate my job. And then I started thinking about where I live, and I was like, I hate where I live. And I started thinking about everything else in my life. And I just started like freaking out. And all of a sudden I felt like my heart was beating out of my chest, and I started crying. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, what happened there? How did you even get to that point? And so we started with the very first thing that they said, where they were like, you know, like, I thought about my job and I hate my job. And I was like, you hate your job? I was like, I've never heard you say you hate your job. Like, we talk about how much they love their job because of how great it is, how easy it is. The work environment is amazing. And they're like, people, like, you know, when you think about like how much people complain about their work environments, like he has such a healthy work environment. Like, everyone uplifts each other. He feels very comfortable with his bosses, and like being completely open with them. Like, everything is like amazing. He says it's almost like it's like you're working with like genuinely like great people. Like, the hiring team, or like the owner of the company, like, he did very well. He created a great environment. Like, so he always talks about how much he loves the job. And so I'm like, what do you mean you hate your job? And then he tells me, he's like, I don't hate my job. Like, I don't know why I thought that. And I was like, well, okay. And then we started like picking off like every other thing. And like, it was just like random stuff. And honestly, like, the stuff that they were panicking over, like, was stuff that they actually was like, it's the opposite of how they feel. They don't know why they felt that way. They said like they just like became very overwhelmed like very quickly. And they were like, I've never felt that way before. And like, they would look, you know, like, I don't know if they had this experience, but when I had like my first like panic attacks, and I felt like what a panic attack really feels like, I feel like a lot of people think they've had panic attacks, but I mean like a real one, where it's so bad that like you start questioning whether or not you need to go to the hospital because you've never felt this before. And like, you think that you may die from this. like, because you may feel like you're about to pass out, like your heart is literally like going 100 miles an hour, like you're sweating, you're shaking, like your heart, like your brain is like racing. Like when I had my very first one, like the next day I was like, not even the next day, just like the next few days after that, I was just out of it, dude. I was just like out of it. Like it felt like like depersonalization or derealization. Like that's what it felt like. Like I felt like I wasn't me. I felt like the world around me was fake. Like I felt very off. And so yeah, like you disassociate like really bad after. And like I didn't know to expect that. Like I was, for the next few weeks, like I was very thrown off because I was just having like multiple panic attacks like often. Like I went from never having them to suddenly like all the time. And I remember like I was off for like a couple months. And so when he told me that he had this panic attack, I was like, I gotta spend the day with this person. I was like, this person is not gonna be okay. Like they're not gonna be okay. So I literally like pushed off everything that I had going on yesterday. And there's like so much stuff that I had to get done that I didn't get done because I was just like, I really need to prioritize this. And I remember just like not being on my phone whatsoever, going and picking them up. And I was like, let's just hang out today. I was like, you're good. So they got off work and I was like, let's go for a walk. So I took them on like this nice long walk in this like very secluded, like it's a very gorgeous park. There's like nobody else there. It's very beautiful. You're just like, you're thrown in nature. There's like deer to look at and shit. And so I just like took them and I just like talked to them and I kept them on like happy topics and just like we talked about food for like an hour. Like I just like kept like asking them questions, kind of like poking and prodding for them to like talk about things like and bring up topics that might make them happy. Like we'd talk about food and I'd bridge into like, yeah, so like what's your favorite food? Like my top dishes of all time, like, you know, like talking about stuff like that. And then like after we went on like this long walk afterwards, I was like, where do you want to eat? Like if you could have anything to eat tonight, like what would you want to eat? And I took them out to eat and I made sure they ate a lot. I was like, we ordered a bunch of appetizers. They got like this crazy burger. And then like I pushed them to get dessert. And then we went walking around like this, like this little kind of like area, like maybe like a shopping area. It's got like a bunch of restaurants and stuff. But I took them like just like all around for like the entire day. And then like at the end of the day, I was like, go do your favorite thing. Like go play some video games, go chill, like smoke some weed, like just hang out. And so they did. I was so concerned for them. And that's like crazy, dude. I think I saw a message earlier where somebody was like, what's it called? Mental health doesn't discriminate. Yeah, no, but this person, like, they have what you would think is like such a great life, but like there's just like a lot going on up there and they don't even know why. They're in therapy and stuff, so that's good. But I guess they were just feeling a bit off recently. Like they told me, like, they were like, I just don't really want to do much right now. They were like, they love their job and they love everything they have going on, but like they just feel kind of just disconnected recently. And it's like, that's what's crazy. So check in on your friends. And if this sounds like you, then reach out to a friend. You know, maybe you're a little bit too good at hiding how you feel, but yeah, no, kind of crazy. So wow, I guess today's podcast was really about just like friendship. Being there for your people, checking in on people, checking on them when they're doing bad, checking on them when they're doing good. Checking on them when they're sad, when they seem like they're happy. Just check in. Stay more connected. Am I fried enough for long legs? I'm probably going to take, not taking it, I'm pretty fried right now, but I'm probably going to drink like an infused drink because I normally do that. Like when I go to sit down for like a movie and I want to be fried, I typically like smoke before and then I'll like get some food and I'll drink like an infused drink with dinner. I'm so excited. You know, today's conversation was so good. I actually didn't think about long legs whatsoever. I didn't think about it at all. Conversation was so good today. I think I had like a list of stuff to talk to, but we somehow ended up in like on other topics. Tough times right now, but we stay strong. Yeah. No way it's been an hour, has it? It's been 59 minutes. That's crazy. Like I said, today was just so good. Is it time? Is it time to decipher the winner of our giveaway? Oh my god. Shout out to Psydyllic. Shout out to Psydyllic for giving out a sub. Thank you. Is it time? Is it time to pick a winner? How does it work again? So I've entered in all the usernames to ChatGPT, and I'm just going to tell him to pick a winner. So let's see. That's what we're going to do. I've already pulled it up. Let me see if I've got it up, because I'd like to share the screen with you guys if I can. Okay. Oh my God. I'm so nervous. I'm nervous. Oh my gosh. Here, I'm going to share my screen with you. Everyone's usernames have already been entered. I'm so nervous right now. Look at all these random usernames. Got it. What would you like me to do with these usernames? Oh, I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. Here we go. I'm going to press send, and then he's going to give us a username, okay? Here we go. So the winner of our 200 subscriber giveaway. I'm nervous as hell. It's like I'm about to win. I'm like, oh my God, am I going to win? Here we go, y'all. My heart's like beating so fast. Cotton Candy Skies 33. Oh my God, I'm so nervous. Are they in here? Are you in here? Are you in here? Oh my gosh, if they're not in here, that's gonna suck. Damn. You're the winner. Hopefully they'll watch on YouTube. I'm gonna post this on my story and everything. And hopefully, oh my God, where'd you guys go? There you are. Hopefully they'll see this. Congratulations to you. That's so awesome. You're going to win a piece of your choosing. This is going to be awesome. Congratulations to Cotton Candy Skies 33. How fun. What if they never get a hold of me? That's a good question. So I've tried already just like clicking on random profiles to see if there's like a way for me to like reach out to you guys. There's not. I'm going to post this on social media, and I'll probably give them a week to reach out to me. I'll give them a week to reach out. I'll repeat what the winner is in each live stream until next Friday. And if they don't reach out to me within a week, then I guess we'll have to pick another person. Or maybe we'll hit another goal, and then we'll get to give away another piece. Oh my God, that'd be so cool. Anyway, guys, today was awesome. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I really enjoyed the conversation today. Again, it is Friday, so there's a lot of content that's out. If you're on Patreon, you've got a hot box for you. And on YouTube, check it out if you want to hear me yap some more. I yap for about 33 minutes in the new YouTube video. It's literally just like a chill sesh in the park. So come hang out with me some more. I hope that you guys had a great day. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your week, or I guess the rest of your night, my bad. I hope you sleep very well tonight and wake up feeling great, because tomorrow's going to be a great day. This weekend is going to be a great weekend. Check on your friends. If you need somebody, please reach out to someone. You are not alone. I love you guys so much. Good night, everybody.